Hi, we're looking at chapter 13, which is the chapter on conjunctions. And I know you probably know that what some of the main conjunctions are, but you're going to get a whole new education about conjunctions in this chapter. Okay, let's move on. We're going to talk about punctuating compound sentences using coordinating conjunctions such as and, or, nor, and but. And then we're also going to talk about punctuating compound sentences using conjunctive adverbs, such as therefore, however, and consequently. Okay, coordinating conjunctions, the most common ones are and, or, but, and nor. And you've probably used these many a time. They connect words, phrases, and clauses of equal grammatical rank. And we're going to talk about this. Okay, come on here. Okay, and by the way, there's a little acronym that will help you remember the coordinating conjunctions. It's called FANBOYS. For, and, nor, but, or, yet. So if that helps you to remember them, go for it. Okay, so when we're joining words with coordinating conjunctions, one of the first examples is showing a simple list of items in a sentence. The copier is fast, simple, and economical. And notice there's a comma after each of these. I know in the past I've had students tell me that their English teachers tell them that they don't have to put this comma in, but I'm going to show you later why you should always put that in. Okay, we're joining phrases. Coordinating conjunctions are going to join phrases. So, should our team meet? Here's the first phrase, in the morning or in the afternoon. These are two prepositional phrases, and we're joining them with this coordinating conjunction. And think of coordinating as putting things together of equal value. So these are of equal value. They're two phrases. These are of equal value. They're words describing the copier. And then clauses. Quality is expected. That's our first clause. But there's our coordinating conjunction. Service is even more important. So we have two independent clauses in here. I could put a period here and have a sentence, and then here have this period here for this sentence. So they're of equal value. They're both independent clauses. So I can join them this way with but, or I could put and in here or any of the other coordinating conjunctions, and I have my comma here before it. Okay, here's the other coordinating conjunctions, and we don't use these quite as often as the other ones that we talked about, but these are also coordinating conjunctions. Tanya said that she wanted to go, yet she hasn't called. Well, we have one independent clause here and one independent clause here, or we just say we have two separate sentences here. We put our comma after the first independent clause and add our coordinating conjunction. Filling that position will not be easy, for few applicants have the necessary technical skills. Same thing here. We have two independent clauses. So we put the comma after the first one and add our coordinating conjunction. As a coordinating conjunction, the word so should only be used in informal writing or conversation. That's some people's opinion. I say use sparingly in the formal communication. Okay, here's informal. The west parking lot is so full, so you may use the east lot. If I wish to say it in a more formal manner, The west parking lot is full. So I'm not going to use that coordinating conjunction. I'm going to use therefore. You may use the east lot. Therefore and so mean the same thing. Notice that when you have a conjunction that is 2 or more syllables, such as therefore, we use a semicolon instead of a comma before the word and then a comma after it. Okay, and here's an alternative. So if you don't even want to have to reword this, I could say, although the west parking lot is full, you may use the east lot. Or another alternative, because the west parking lot is full, you may use the east lot. So sometimes it's just better to reword the sentence. Okay, a phrase is a group of related words without a subject and a verb. And we've talked about prepositional phrases. They don't have a subject and a verb. Kim came to the interview. There's no subject or verb here. Here's our preposition. In the morning, here's our preposition. There's no subject or verb. Okay, and then she had been told to arrive at 10 a.m. So here's a phrase here and here's a phrase here. Okay, and then a clause is a group of related words with a subject or a verb. Remember we talked about independent and dependent clauses? When she arrived, she introduced herself. So this would be a dependent clause. When she arrived, she introduced herself. This is an independent clause because it can stand on its own. Or if she was afraid, here is a dependent clause that can't stand on its own, but it does have a subject and a verb. She didn't show it. This would be an independent clause which can stand on its own. Notice they all have a verb. Here's she, a subject is she, and arrived is your verb. She is the subject, introduced is the verb. She was and she didn't. So notice these clauses all have subjects and verbs. Okay, now we're going to cover this to help with punctuation. Simple sentences have one independent clause. That is, one clause that can stand alone. Don't let the length of a sentence fool you. If it's on one topic or one clause that can stand alone, it is a sentence, a simple sentence. For instance, each interviewee sent a resume. Okay, so here's our verb, and they sent a resume. And here's our subject. Okay, compound sentences have two or more independent clauses. So we have simple and then compound. Okay, so this is going to have two independent clauses or clauses that can stand on their own. So here's our first one. Kim spent many hours preparing her resume. She practiced her answers to typical interview questions. Those are two independent clauses. So notice we have our comma here and the coordinating conjunction and. When a coordinating conjunction joins clauses in a compound sentence, a comma generally precedes the conjunction. Here's one of those tricky things. The comma may be omitted if the sentence has fewer than 13 words. So if it's a short sentence, fewer than 13 words, you could omit the comma. Okay. Kim dressed carefully for her interview. That is one independent clause. Here's our comma, and here's our coordinating conjunction. She brought extra copies of her resume to distribute. So there's our second independent clause. So this is still a compound sentence because it has two independent clauses. A comma separates two clauses in a compound sentence. Just what I said. Okay, here's one of those. Kim left early. This is an independent clause. She arrived on time. That's an independent clause. Notice they didn't put a comma in here, but they used the coordinating conjunction and. How many words is here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 words, so what they're saying is if it's less than 13, you could omit the comma if you wanted to. Okay, punctuating compound sentences. We don't use commas when coordinating conjunction joins compound verbs, objects, or phrases. If it's going to join compound verb, objects, or phrases. Okay, so we can help you improve your management skills and enhance your career within months. What is this? This is an independent clause. We can help you improve your management skills, could stand by itself, but enhance your career within months is not an independent clause. It cannot stand on its own. We just use the word and here to connect those two. Okay, now what it's telling you here, help is a verb and enhance is a verb. So we're joining two verb phrases together. Okay, you may come to our downtown headquarters or to one of our suburban branch offices. Here's a prepositional phrase, to our downtown headquarters. And then here's another one, to one of our suburban branch offices. So we're connecting phrases here so we don't use a comma here. We just use our coordinating our conjunction. Okay, let's look at this. We're going to insert commas if needed. Our engineers are working on ways to improve our products and to continue to save you time and money. What do you think? No commas needed because what are we joining? Here's a prepositional phrase, to improve our products, and then here's another one, to continue to save, so on. So no commas needed here. We appreciate your interest in our company and we are sending you the brochures you requested. What do you think? Well, we appreciate your interest in our company. That's one independent clause. We are sending you the brochures you requested. That's another independent clause. So I think we need a comma there. What do you think? We sure do. Okay, here's another one. Wrap carefully and send it immediately. What are we joining here? Well, our subject's you. You wrap carefully and send it immediately. So here's a verb and here's a verb. Are we connecting two verb phrases? So we don't need a comma. We can install a system that meets your immediate needs or design a system that will grow with your company. Okay, so here we can install a system that meets our needs. That's an independent clause. Design a system that will grow with your company. Well, that's not an independent clause, so we don't need a comma. Okay, and all email is monitored, so be careful about what you say. Because all email is monitored, be careful about what you say. Which one is preferable in formal writing? Well, I'm going to assume B is, because we have the word so here and they don't like you to do that. Okay, we're going to save this for the next video. So this is the end of part 1. Bye.